Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into some absolutely incredible insights that, honestly, completely redefine what it means to be at the helm. There's this persistent myth out there about what makes someone a truly great leader. We're told it's all about the individual hustle, right? Racking up personal accolades, climbing to the very top, sometimes no matter who happens to be standing in your way. It's that classic lone wolf narrative we constantly see in movies or read about in outdated business memoirs. But the source material we're unpacking today, it completely shatters that myth. We're going to look at the exact mechanics of how true authority operates in the modern world and why looking outward, rather than inward, is actually the key to moving forward.
Okay, let's dive into this. I'm sure you've heard the news. Great leaders don't just chase their own goals. For decades, the dominant narrative has basically been that the person in charge is the one who crosses the finish line first, securing their own targets, making sure their own bonus is locked in tight. But this idea immediately hits the brakes on that outdated philosophy. It tells us something fundamentally different. If you're only chasing what benefits you, well, you aren't actually leading anyone. You're just running by yourself. And let's face it, running by yourself is exhausting, it's lonely, and ultimately, it's totally self-limiting.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark difference between these two mindsets. On one side, we have chasing your own goals. It's narrow, it's isolated, and it has a definitive hard ceiling. I mean, you only have 24 hours in a day, right? You only have so much energy to expend. But then on the other side, we have building others up too. These two approaches are deliberately contrasted here because one is entirely about extraction, taking what you need for yourself, and the other is all about investment. When you invest in building others up, you're expanding capacity way, way beyond what one single individual could ever achieve, even on their very best day. So, the crucial point is that this isn't just about being a nice, charitable person around the office. No, it's an actual mechanical formula for generating scale. Looking past your personal goals is the exact mechanism that generates a much larger overall impact. Just think about a brilliant, top-performing sales director. For years, they focused on closing the biggest accounts themselves, just to secure that personal recognition. But inevitably, their division's growth plateaued. Why? Because there's a literal ceiling on what one person can close. It wasn't until they stopped chasing their own numbers and started rigorously coaching and building up their junior reps that the division's revenue completely exploded. They stopped adding to their success and they started multiplying it. When you leverage the collective brainpower and drive of a whole group, your impact becomes exponential.
And what does that multiplication actually look like in practice? Well, there are three very specific cascading ripple effects. First, you inspire trust. When people know you aren't just using them as a stepping stone for your next promotion, their guard finally drops. They stop covering their tracks and they start truly collaborating. Second, you inspire loyalty. And let's be honest, true loyalty in modern corporate culture is about as rare as an office printer that actually works on the first try. People don't commit to a faceless corporate logo. They commit to a manager who genuinely has their back and cares about their career trajectory. And third, you drive real change. You simply cannot mandate real change through an angry email. It has to be driven by a united, trusting team that actually wants to see your vision succeed. Trust, loyalty, change. These are the undeniable outcomes of looking beyond yourself.
Let that sink in for a moment, because this leads to a really profound realization. When you put your team first, everyone wins, including you. This is exactly where we have to shift our perspective entirely. There's this lingering, quiet fear out there that if you put your team first, you're somehow sacrificing your own success, that you're taking a back seat or missing out on the credit. But this insight completely reshapes that fear. It is a true win-win. By elevating the people around you, you elevate the entire environment you exist in. When the team succeeds, the leader succeeds by default. You absolutely do not lose by giving your team the spotlight. You actually guarantee your own victory in the long run. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate binary choice every single one of us faces when we're in a position of influence. It's not just about one big dramatic career moment either. It happens in every morning huddle, every single email response, and every strategic decision you make. You come to this fork in the road daily. Are you leading for your people, focusing on their growth, clearing their obstacles, and celebrating their success? Or are you leading for just your ego, focusing on how things make you look, protecting your pride, and making sure you claim all the credit? The reality is, you cannot simultaneously serve both. You have to choose. Let's move to and see how this builds into one core philosophy. Because true leaders, they make everyone around them shine. This is exactly what we should all be striving for. It is such an energizing and beautiful way to look at our roles in the workplace. A true leader isn't the one standing right in the center of the spotlight, soaking up all the applause while everyone else just stands in the shadows. No way. The true leader is the one holding the flashlight, making absolutely sure everyone else's talents, unique skills, and hard work are fully illuminated. Your ultimate metric for success isn't how bright you are, but how bright the room gets the moment you walk into it. So we leave you with this final, absolutely crucial question. Knowing that real impact, real trust, and real loyalty only come when you abandon that self-centric mindset and look outward, will you step up and lead for your people or just your ego? Take a hard look at your own professional life today and really ask yourself who you are working for. The choice is yours. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and we'll see you next time.